Okay, so finding the gold. I when it comes to them finding the gold, you're gonna get some of those kids that are just they're gonna run out there. They're gonna be so quick. They're gonna be so keen and super competitive and all that. And then there's gonna be the ones that are as well, but they're not as good, and so they're gonna be sad and frustrated and that kind of stuff. And this is where the behavior support worker comes in. This is where that little cricket voice. And this is actually a good time for all three leaders to take on this sort of cricket voice and be like, you can say things like, oh, it's really frustrating. I really hate that this is happening. I hate it. I hate it. I hate that I didn't get it. Did you get it? Oh, you didn't get it either. Did you get it? Oh, you didn't get it either. And then have an interaction directly with the kids that did get it. Hey, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to keep all the money to yourself? And it's that higher pitched tone of voice that is like, it's not from a judgment place, it's from a curiosity place. Are you keeping that all to yourself, or do I get some too? Right? It's a tone of voice thing. And you're modeling that tone of voice to teach them, instead of being like, hey, that's not fair. Why did you get it and I didn't? Right? Instead of that sort of whiny, snarky voice, it's it's teaching the art of trying, asking for what you want and for things to feel fair. And it's very likely that those faster kids that found more of the gold, that they're more likely gonna want to keep all that gold to themselves, and they don't even know why. It's just a hoarder mentality. It's a competitiveness. It's a I win kind of. It just happens, right? And it's a sweet time to teach these life skills. This is why I do this. So instead of telling them what to do, be willing to spend 10 to 15 minutes on this topic where you literally witness the dynamics of what's happening. And instead of telling them what to do, sometimes I've had kids be like, well, since I was the one that found it, why don't I be the one that keeps it safe? And then you could say, how does everybody feel about that? And then you can teach the kid to say, how does everybody feel about that? So once you model it, how does everybody feel about that? And then if it comes up again, have that kid say, well, how do y'all feel about me keeping it safe since I was the one that found it? How do y'all feel about that? Okay, so it's just like starting to normalize that group mentality, that group languaging with the others. So again, try not to dictate what to say to them. It's modeling and then suggesting that they use that same language as it's happening, instead of telling them in advance, this is how you deal with financial management in a group setting when finding gold. It's just in the moment. You'll see where their social skills are lacking, or their negative behavior or whininess, or that one kid that's like we've lost them because they're about to cry and they're walking away. This is like key time for developing the skills to taking a moment. So this is kind of like, get ready for this, because it'll happen. And whether it be Gus or Stephanie or Zoe who wants to sort of like dive in and say that like sort of take the lead on what to do with this, go ahead. And if you want me to help sort of navigate this the way I have done it for years, I'm happy to be that character to give you a model of what that could sound like, depending on how they're showing up. There's so many different ways they could react to that. So just be ready for there to be like intensity and mayhem and competitiveness and tears and all the things, because it's inevitable.